Hi, I'm Brianne Reeves. I'm the technical service rep with BASF covering the Carolinas. We are here today at the North Carolina Research Farm in Pine Level, North Carolina. And with me today, I have Dr. Leanne Lux, NC State plant pathologist. And we're here to talk about soybeans. So Leanne, could you give us a quick update on the status of soybeans in North Carolina?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me here today, Brianne. According to the USDA, we're about 70% planted in North Carolina. About 56% of the soybeans have emerged. Things have been progressing quite well. Double crop planting has also started as the wheat has been harvested. And we've had a little bit of soybean seedling disease here and there, but outside of that, soybeans have been looking really good.
Great, great. And I know as the season progresses, we tend to see more and more pathogens pop up or more diseases in our beans. What are the most common ones that we see in North Carolina?
The most common diseases that we do see are Cercospora leaf blight, our foliar diseases, and so frog eye leaf spot, Septoria brown spot. Some of those are yield limiting, some of them more of just an eyesore, but things to also be aware of.
Right, right. And as the kind of the weather conditions progress into the summer, which of those pathogens do you think we really need to kind of look for? Which ones should growers kind of be on the lookout for?
Something I think growers should really be on the lookout for is frog eye leaf spot. That one can sneak up on you quickly and also cause a lot of yield limiting problems. Another foliar disease to be a little cautious of is soybean rust. It has been identified on kudzu in Georgia currently, so it hasn't been identified on soybeans yet, but that's something we're monitoring as it progresses north. And
Yeah,
so just to keep an eye out for that, especially for late planted or double crop soybeans.
yeah. And as the wind blows north, often those rust spores kind of
Yeah,
come along with, right?
with hurricanes and yeah,
Yep.
everything like that.
Thankfully, we knock on wood, we won't have many hurricanes this year.
Hopefully not.
But I guess one of the things that I think we should maybe discuss is when diseases infect plants, there's a bit of a latent period there. So can you kind of explain that how that works?
Yeah, so oftentimes the spore will land on the leaf. It takes a certain amount of time to germinate and infect that leaf, and we often don't see those symptoms or the physiological response of that plant actually showing any of those symptoms until potentially even 2 weeks or 3 weeks after the infection has already occurred. So it's really important to get out there and spray those fungicides as a preventative for those foliar diseases that we often see.
Right. So you kind of led me to my next question was about the fungicide timing. So if a grower wants to use a fungicide in his soybeans, you said use it preventatively. But growth stage on a soybean plant, when is typically a preventative application?
Yeah, a preventative application, the data shows that R3 is our best timing to get the best yield response. We may see some of the disease in the lower canopy, though it
Hmm.
hasn't made its way to the upper canopy, which is providing most of our yield yield components to that growing. So I would make sure that top canopy is probably protected the most. And
Yep.
so making that R3 application is probably the best way to get that yield response.
Great. Well, if any of the growers out there would like to learn more about NC State Extension, where can they go for that?
We have a soybean extension portal that extension colleagues, and myself, we post about diseases or other agronomic things throughout the growing season to
Great.
provide updates to growers.
Awesome. And if a grower would like to learn more about BASF fungicides, please visit agriculture.basf.us or reach out to your local BASF representative.